Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and welcome to Game 2 of this best of 3 from Go4 SC2, and it is between GLSnute, the red Zerg player in the top right, and NrSRomson, the blue Protoss player in the lower left. The map is Cloud Kingdom. It does have this little supply depot down there, so it's all good. Now obviously Game 1, Snute overall took quite convincingly, and it's not to be much of a surprise because when I'm actually casting this, and I know it won't get released for a few days, but currently Snute has just absolutely been dominating Home Story Cup. He's currently not dropped a map, which is pretty awesome. He just 3-0 Grubby. So sorry for the spoilers if anyone hasn't watched it, but I'm fairly sure this video won't come out until like early next week, so that's all fine in my opinion. Like, you probably won't see it for a while, and you should definitely know what had happened up to that point in Home Story Cup, which everyone should watch, by the way. It was awesome. I love Home Story Cup. It's probably my favourite tournament going. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about this game. Snoop, game 1, very, very normal. Pool, hatch, hatch. It was to be expected. Romson, Nexus first, into a Forge, into a Stargate, which got a lot of Phoenix, which weren't used until those 4, and then they did pretty much nothing, which was a bit of a shame. Lots of Overlords survived, which should have really died desperately, so I'm interested to see if Romson goes for a different approach on this map. Of course, Immortal Sentry, super strong here. Gateway push is super strong here. This third base, super weak, because you've got this massive area that you can move units in, this massive area you can move units in, and this tiny area where force fields become exceptionally powerful. And that's really why you see a lot of Zerg players lose their third base on this map, and why you see a lot of 2-base all-ins from Protoss players. But the third base for Protoss not too hard to take, obviously with the Gateway wall-offs. It's pretty swish and pretty fine. You can also wall-off here as well, which makes it fun times. So wait and see what's going to go down. It was a Nexus first yet again from Romson. Snute obviously did win game 1, for those of you who don't know. So that's why Snute is pretty baller. He's got his spawning pool on the way. He's starting his third base first, which is purely just in response to this pro being like, hey, gonna block your natural, may as well take your third first, because ultimately you're gonna be taking that, and there's not a problem with it, to be honest, unless your opponent just happened to be going for something crazy like a proxy 2 gate, but obviously the Overlord's seen that that isn't the case, so it's all absolutely fine. Now looking here, Forge obviously on its way. That Forge really far forward, like really far forward. The Forge should be there. The reason you put it there as opposed to here is then because theoretically if some roaches came in, they could get a bigger arc of attacking it, which is why you wouldn't want to put it quite there. The photon cannon coming down as well, and that's pretty odd placement in my opinion. Meanwhile, some Zerglings running across the map, only 4, they're not going to be able to do too much, so that's all good. Meanwhile, Chrono Boost's coming down, making more probes, because probes are good. Obviously the third base just getting started now. That started really quite quickly. It was just actually before the 4-minute mark, so Snoop macroing like a boss. Meanwhile, the pylon coming down to complete the wall off there, so that pylon will probably get cancelled because the reason that needed to come down was just due to the fact the cannon wasn't finished, so the Zerglings could have theoretically run in and done some good damage. But all in all, this is really gearing up to be at very least a kind of 7 to 9 minute game, because that's really the first time you'd see any pushes. More likely 9 minutes plus, maybe 12 minutes, so really no early aggression, which is good. It means we get to see some good action from both of these players for the moment. Gateway down. The Zerglings already starting on these rocks. You may be thinking, why is Snoop bothering taking out rocks at 5 minutes? The reason being is if he does decide to attack up here, by having these rocks down, this small area is then made a lot larger. It means force fields are a lot less effective at splitting apart Snoot's army, which is of course very good for him and very bad for Romson, who is getting up his Cybercore. He's got 2 gas up. Meanwhile, no gas yet for Snoot. We won't be seeing that for about another 10 supply worth of drones, give or take a little bit. Then he'll probably get up 2 to 4 gas straight away. So that's kind of the longer term plan. Remember, of course, guys, if you like this video and you like these casts, please make sure you like the video on YouTube, because then more people see it. Leave a cool comment, because that's awesome. And subscribe, because if you subscribe, I will type out a heart for you, because I love people who subscribe. It's brilliant. And also I get games up daily, so obviously you get to see loads of StarCraft, which is cool because we all love StarCraft. Anyway, here comes the gas, 2 straight away. Are we going to see a third? There we go. 3 gas. Are we going to see a 4th gas? Not quite yet, apparently. That is fine. These rocks half killed. Meanwhile, the Zerglings being forced back because 1 Zealot is terribly scary. You can kill 1 Zealot with 4 Zerglings, but you have to micro lots, and it's still not that great. It's better to run away a bit scared from the evil Zealot. Anyway, +1 on its way down. We've got the 3rd and 4th gas up for the Protoss player. Meanwhile, the robotics facility, the Overlords haven't come in to scout yet, so to be honest, Robotics facility, sentry out. It's saying to me, Madals, I'm going to be going for an immortal sentry all in because why not? Snute saying, on the other hand, I am going to get up 3 gas and I'm going to be getting lots and lots of drones. Hasn't started his Roach Warren yet, hasn't really done very much at all. He needs to start thinking about starting that Roach Warren though, unless he's going to do, literally as I say that, he does it. Oh, I love it when pro players do that because it makes me seem so clever. Really, they were going to start whenever the hell they wanted, and they had their own reasons for starting it then, but when it syncs up like that, you get a little twinkle in the caster's eye, and it's just like, yeah, I called it here first, guys. Anyway, the probe coming over, so that's a bit of a tell to Snute as well, saying, hey, I was going to try and take a 3rd base. That's really a big, big indicator. We've also got the Twilight Council coming down, so with the addition of those 3 additional gateways, that means, of course, 4 gates, Robo with the Twilight Council. While there is an Immortal coming out, the fact that the 3rd base is coming down, that Snute scouted, just means, hey, this isn't going to be a Immortal Sentry. It's a expansion, it's going into a 3rd base, you're pretty safe. It also means that Snute, as he's getting 13 roaches out, could just come and kill it, because this is actually a very, very early 3rd base timing for Protoss. Really, really early, in fact. Before even 1 Immortal is out, he only had the 1 gateway as well. So, as a result, really only those 3 sentries there. The Immortal is on its way, but as you can see, the Roach is already on their way across. Les done for Snute, so he's starting up with Roach speed. This Scout coming in, getting a good look, seeing the 6th gas, or potentially the 6th gas coming down. The 5th and 6th were the natural, they've gone down as well. The Infestation pick coming down, and I don't think any of this has been scouted at all. And so, really, Romson, even if he did scout it, he wouldn't be in an amazing spot to deal with it anyway, but he could start pumping out some more units, chrono boosting out on the gateways. Obviously, we do have Blink on its way, but this is going to be a tough hold because there is an awful lot of units on their way through. And well, the sentries move forward, start seeing what's coming in, but units flanking from all angles, and the Zerglings do manage to get in. They're going to be able to pick off a lot of these sentries, and the GG goes down straight there, knowing he's not going to be able to defend. The force switch just weren't in time, and well, Snute takes this 2-0, which is, to be honest, not that surprising, but still, nice play by Ronson. He took risks, which he had to do against a player like Snute to try and get the win, so grats to him. Remember guys, like the video, subscribe and leave a cool comment, and I'll catch you tomorrow for yet another new game. Bye for now.